Hey everybody, my name is AJ Hirsch, and today I just want to give a quick video on a few of my favorite ambient presets inside of Guitar Rig 6. So here I have this preset loaded called Creamy Snowflake, so I'll go ahead and play a few sounds off that so you can check it out. Alright, so that's really beautiful, really huge reverb going on. And if you look at the presets here, or the components, we have quite a few things. Looks like we're not using any amp to generate the sound. This is kind of all being processed with the direct signal. So we go into a VC76 compressor, going into this very subtle tremolo. As you can see, the rate is set really low, but pretty high intensity, but it just gives a little bit of depth with this little pulsating effect, which is really cool. Got a little bit of a psych delay going on, set to, I guess, a half note. And the cat distortion is really cool. With this, it really brings out the punch when you hit a note a little bit more aggressively. Like if you're really hitting that note, you get this attack that's really nice. As you can see here, the cat distortion, the level is pretty much on 0. Right, so it's just enough to, when you dig in, you can really get that clipping sound, clipping distortion on those notes, which is really cool. The whole thing isn't distorted, but just when you dig into it. And here we have this ROM reverb, I believe that's how you call it. I don't know. Let me know if I'm wrong there. But this is a cool, this is what's giving it that really airy reverb, obviously. So there's 2 instances of that. I guess this is the A channel. Maybe it's in stereo, so it's left and right. And then we have pretty much the same setup here on the right side with the psych delay, the cat, and the ROM delay. Okay, so here's the split, actually the stereo split. And then we have this other ROM reverb called Grounded, which all this together is just creates this really lush, really huge decay reverb sound. So let me play a few more examples here. And that reverb trail, super nice. Yeah, that's the Creamy Snowflakes, one of my favorite presets that I've found so far. So I'm gonna go now into this other preset called Silver Phase. So let me pull this up here. There we go. So the Silver Phase, let's take a listen to this one. So we actually got some shimmer going on for this one. All right, very beautiful. And by the way, I'm using my middle pickup here, which is a single coil Fender Custom Shop 69. I'll go ahead and do the neck pickup as well, which is also a Custom Shop 69, same exact one. I'll switch to my bridge pickup, which is a humbucker. It's the Seymour Duncan JB. So let me switch to that. So once again, this is being processed just with the direct signal, so not really with an amp. So we have the VC76, this little, I guess it's called a Fascis. Once again, I'm fairly new to guitar rigs, so I don't know a lot of these components. So this one looks like it has some kind of modulation going on it. And then underneath that we have 2 instances of a cyc delay. Looks like the time, they're both set to quarter notes. And what's different is, looks like the detune is just slightly off on the second one. The first one is 9 cents higher, and the second one is just nothing, no detuning at all. So that's kind of what's cool about this. And then also the pitch is +7 and +12 on both of those. Looks like we also go into a split mix where we have this ROM grounded reverb going on. Very high decay, so the fade of the reverb is going to last, the reverb trail is going to last a long time. Beautiful sound, right? I love the shimmer effect with the cyc delay. It's really, really cool. So the next one I got here is called Ambient Shimmer. So let me go ahead and get this one set up. So with this one, we're actually using an amp instead of just processing the direct. So we have this replica delay going into the AC box. All right, I'm going into this replica shimmer. We have this really cool kind of LFO sound, kind of giving us a pulsating effect. Really beautiful. Right, so that's one of my favorites as well, the Ambient Shimmer. So the next one that I really like is this Cosmo Chicago, which is using the new Chicago amp that's new to Guitar Rig 6. So let's take a listen to this. I'll go back to the bridge pickup. Right, so this is a really beautiful sound too. It's a darker reverb tone. Right, the other one is has a little bit more clarity to it, but this one has a nice darker vibe to it with a much shorter decay. Right, so it doesn't last as long. And a little bit of modulation. And with the Chicago amp, we're using, like I said, there's 2 controls here, a tone probably up about noon, volume kind of about 9% right there. Then before that we have the supercharger compressor. This is also one of my favorite presets for that lower decayed sound reverb that doesn't really last forever. So the last one I want to go through is called Dark Wide Open. Super nice. We're also using an amp. We're using the fire breather going into the VC76 with the matching cab. Then we're doing this kind of chorus synth thing. Let's see, we're pretty high up with the modulation, but the mix is fairly low, so it's still very subtle in reality. But it's just giving enough little modulation to keep things interesting. All right, so with modulation, I really always enjoyed the subtlety of it and how much depth it can add. So that's what we're kind of doing here. It's giving us a little bit of depth going into this ROM airy reverb. So also pretty long decay time. Beautiful sound. And so I'm gonna probably do a part 2 to this video sometime soon, because I haven't gone through all of the presets yet. These are just the first 5 that I picked. And so I hope this gives a good idea of some of the presets that you can find in Guitar Rig 6 with this ambient sound in mind. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.